Hello everyone and welcome to the second module of Life Skills for Semester 1. I hope you all remember the 10 life skills prescribed by WHO. Now throughout the rest of our course, we will analyze all of those life skills in detail. In this video, we will look into the importance of self-awareness and stress management. Before proceeding to the main content, let us take a look at the topics which we'll be covering in this particular video.
In this video, we will look into some important aspects of self-awareness, including the needs and the techniques to inculcate and improve self-awareness in a person. We will also take a look at the different factors related to stress management, including the different approaches and a few effective methods of successful stress management. So, let us first try and understand what self-awareness exactly is. The phrase self-awareness derives from a Greek aphorism meaning know thyself or know yourself. In simple terms, self-awareness is the awareness of oneself, with the self being what makes an individual unique. And these unique features includes our thoughts, our experiences and abilities. So in essence, self-awareness is a major mechanism to exercise self-control. Because when we focus our attention on ourselves, we evaluate and compare our current behavior to our internal standards and values. We become self-conscious as objective evaluators of ourselves. Therefore, essentially, self-awareness helps us to objectively evaluate ourselves and transform ourselves into better human beings or social beings. Self-awareness goes beyond accumulating knowledge about ourselves. It is also about paying attention to our inner state with a beginner's mind and an open heart. This all points to the importance or the need of being self-aware. When we are aware about ourselves, we are no longer confused about our abilities or aspirations, and thereby we become more self-confident. And as we discussed earlier, self-awareness is the perfect mechanism to exercise self-control. And when we are confident of ourselves and have a full grasp on our mental and emotional responses, we develop emotionally and mentally and steer ourselves into positive thinking and become more and more proactive. Now, let us look at some of the methods through which we can develop our sense of self-awareness. The first technique is meditation. Meditation has been practiced by thousands of people for countless years as an effective way to develop self-awareness. Allow yourself some time every day, away from all the distractions, especially the digital distractions, which are now an inseparable part of our lives, and spend some time with yourself, connecting to yourself, understanding yourself better. The second technique you can try is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is focusing on the present moment without any judgment or inhibitions. When you pay focused attention to your inner self and observe what is going on inside and around you. Another effective tool is reflective questions and feedback. Like we had discussed before, one of the most important aspects of self-awareness is the awareness of one's strengths and weaknesses. This will allow you to focus on the first, which is your strengths, and manage around the second, which is your weakness. And creating a feedback analysis of how you arrive at and what decisions you make can help you improve your thought and decision making process. Attempting questionnaires is one of the best and effective way to uncover your outlook on life and give you some insights into your inner workings. And tests including psychometric tests are particularly effective in building up self-awareness. Although the results of these tests shouldn't be taken as gospel, they are a good way to start learning more about yourself and increase your self-awareness in the process. Finally, Journaling is one of the most beneficial ways of connecting with yourself. Writing not only helps us to process our inner thoughts, but also makes us feel connected and at peace with ourselves. Writing can also create more headspace as you let your thoughts flow into your paper. Now, we shall move on to the next topic that we have to discuss, which is stress and stress management. So what is stress? Any emotional or physical tension that may arouse frustration, anger or nervousness in you can be called stress. In short bursts, stress can be positive, such as when it helps you to avoid danger or even meet a deadline. But when stress lasts for a long time, it may harm your health. Stress means different things to different people. What causes stress in one person may be of little concern to another. What causes stress to you might not be of concern to me. Some people are better able to handle stress than others. And stress symptoms may be affecting your health even though you might not realize it at the moment. You might think that the irritating headaches, the frequent insomnia or your decreased productivity are illness, but in fact they might be symptoms of prolonging stress inside you. But once identified, there are ways of effectively managing stress. There are several symptoms that might point to stress, including physical symptoms such as headaches, nervousness, tense muscles, emotional symptoms such as agitation, frustration, moodiness, and even cognitive symptoms such as forgetfulness, disorganization, and so on. Once these symptoms become recurrent, it is best advised to give thought to any factors that might causing you stress. And once identified, there are some effective approaches to handle or manage them. One approach is action-oriented approach, where the problem creating the stress is identified and confronted directly. Appropriate changes are made to alter the situation or the environment and thereby reduce or eliminate by resolution of the problem creating the stress. But if the environment or the situation cannot be changed, the individual can modify personal emotions to interpret the situation differently and thereby attempt to reduce or eliminate stress. This is called emotion-oriented approach. And finally, in acceptance-oriented approach, the individual has no direct or indirect control over the factors causing the stress, along with no emotional control to alter the interpretation of the situation. The focus is on accepting and overcoming the stressful situation. While applying any of the three approaches we had discussed recently are effective, there are 4 simple steps that can help you deal with stressful situations in the longer run. The 4 A's, adapt, accept, avoid, and alter, can not only help you to get rid of stress but also control your emotions in the worst situations. Thinking you can't cope is one of the greatest stressors. That is why adapting, which involves changing your standards or expectations, can be most helpful in dealing with stress. Adjust your standards, reframe the issue, look at the bigger picture. Ask yourself if any of these will matter in the next 5 years. The answer is often no. Realizing this makes stressful situations seem less overwhelming. Another helpful thing you can do during times of stress is to take inventory, then attempt to change your situation or alter your situation for better. So alter your behavior or how you perceive the behaviors of others or situations. And if that does not work out, sometimes we may have no choice but to accept things the way they are. For those times, try to talk to someone you trust and learn to forgive. And if nothing works, believe it or not, you can simply avoid a lot of stress. Plan ahead, rearrange your surroundings and reap the benefits of a lighter load. Now that we are familiar with some of the effective approaches of stress management, there are several tools or several techniques which can also help you with managing your stress. One such effective tool which helps you in managing day-to-day stressful situations and even helps you to develop an effective regimen to counter such situations is a stress diary. A stress diary can give you an insight into how you react to stress and help you to identify the levels of pressure at which you work best. The idea behind stress diary is that you regularly record information about the stresses you're experiencing so that you can analyze and then manage them. As well as this, stress diaries help you to understand the causes of stress in more detail, the levels of pressure at which you operate most effectively, and how you can improve the way you manage your stress. Another effective way to manage stress is gratitude training. Have you ever noticed that some people are able to maintain a positive attitude regardless of whatever is going on around them? Like everyone, they can appreciate the good times, but they also seem to be able to find positive things even in the face of negative events. So cultivating gratitude is one of the simpler routes to a greater sense of emotional well-being and higher overall life satisfaction and a greater sense of happiness in life. Research shows that gratitude is correlated with positive emotional functioning, social relationships, and overall well-being. Being thankful can also protect against mental health problems and is associated with lower risk of disorder, phobias, and even drug abuse. We have come to the end of part 1 of module 2. We will continue in the next part. Thank you for your patient listening.